Hi, my name is Jarvis. I'm a Temple student here. I major in psychology and I live in Northeast Philly. And yeah.
My name is Queen and I'm currently a major in advertising. And I also attend Temple University as well. I'm from South Philly and the organization I'm affiliated with is ASA, which is Asian Students Association, as well as NAP.
So what our views on the voting is just that like you're picking the lesser evil, I guess, and it's just forcing us to pick Hillary. I feel like she bought everything, and then like Trump is meant to beat her for her to be voted, and I think that like even though I don't want to vote for her, but if I were to vote, I will vote for Hillary because she shares the same views as Bernie's, where she supports free colleges and many other things. But I feel like if we vote now, it'd be like too late because what really matters is the representatives that picks our votes. And do you have anything?
Yeah, I think this is probably maybe one of the toughest elections so far because I think most of the people who I've spoken with, they don't really have a favorite person running. Like, it's just both parties are like nobody's really fond of either parties. Yeah, and I think that's what makes it tough. And the fact that I do agree with him with how there is probably maybe a chance that the election is set up the way it is. And yeah, I think that's also one of the reasons why I didn't vote. I'm not in favor of either or, and yeah. So. And then, and I think this goes back, like, linking back to me about me not voting, as an advice for people outside of the U.S. I think that voting is important, and I think that everyone has a right, no matter who you are, your gender, anything. I think that it's kind of your way of proving that you are a human being and you have your own voice and you have a right to speak whatever you feel. And yeah, I think.
Yeah. And my advice for other people in voting in the future is if you really want a candidate to win, you have to start from all the way down to like your representative, your governor, to point to the direction of the candidate. You can't just be like, oh, I want this person to win, so I'm just go vote for it. That's not gonna happen, you know.
Yeah, and I think that that's the tricky part about elections, you know, how, like, I think it's kind of meant to make everyone feel as though they do have a voice, but I feel as though it's kind of, like, not really the case, as he said, because the people who have higher positions than us, they do have, like, you know, more power versus all of us, and I think that the fact that sometimes, even though, yes, we get to vote, at the same time, it's like, our voice isn't really like as powerful, and they want to make us feel as though it is. Yeah. So I think that's the tricky part about elections.
Yeah. And then the last question there also, like, what other things could people do to promote change besides voting, or how do you think people can, you know, improve society?
I think that the thing that a lot of people do is feel as though that, oh, I'm just one person. If I don't vote, it's not going to make a difference. You know what I mean? And I think that although you may think that way, there are plenty of other people who think the same way. And I think that people should realize that they do have power in some sort of way. Like, they do have a certain amount of power, and they should be able to do research and be able to try to educate themselves and try to figure out what exactly is happening. What can they do? How do they feel about things? Because, like, they're not the only person in the nation, you know? Like, even though you feel as though you won't make a difference, you can be that one person that, like, kind of, like, is the make it or break it person. Yeah.
And, yeah, I agree with what she has to say. Like, you're not alone. There's other people. If you join with other people, you will make a difference, even if it's a small difference. And I believe if you want to fight for something, you should protest or like gather around a rally or anything.
Yeah, and I think not a lot of people like, people don't do that enough to come together and try to be one. I think everyone is just kind of sees themselves as kind of like just by themselves, and they don't really want to socialize with other people. And I think people really underestimate the power of unity. And if a lot of people come together, I feel as though, like, you guys can make a difference, but it's because a lot of people, they just feel as though they can't, because they feel like, they feel small, like, you know, like just one little speck of dust in a room. So yeah, I think people need to realize that you have a lot of capabilities and you have a lot of potential, and you can do so much with that as long as you choose to.